Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about pride. And why we're going to talk about pride is because a lot of people are prideful. A lot of people see pride in themselves, but they say that, sometimes you got to put that aside, and focus on the best, on things for your life. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to be prideful, you know what I mean? Just do what the Creator wants you to do. You do what the Creator wants you to do. You ain't got to be prideful. Do what the Creator wants you to do. Wake up, you know what I mean, and get to it. Let it roll off you. Don't let it be natural. Let it be, free. When I get on my channel, I don't really know what I'm gonna do that day. But I know I'm putting out content, that can help people and that can hurt people. You know what I mean? Some people who would benefit, you know what I mean, it may help them, and some people it may not. Some people may not want you to know this information. You know what I'm saying? I'm not prideful with anything. Like, I ain't even, I'm just putting out, the material that I want to put out. You know what I mean? I just look at trying to put out something that is going to help somebody. It may not be everything like, how some people talk about the, same thing everybody else talk about it. But I'm gonna touch on what I want to touch on and throughout what I understand that's important. Most of my channel gonna be about stuff that's really like, most people, they're not talking about that, or they don't really. So, but all of what I'm talking about is to help humanity. So, I want you to look up the word of pride, and like last video we was talking about frequency. I want you to look up the definition of frequency. I want you to look up the definition of pride, like I told you. I had to put my pride aside a lot, you know what I mean? Because sometimes you try to force things, you know what I'm saying? So, and I don't want to really force nothing no more, you know what I mean? So I just be trying to be humble, because that's probably not what the energy want me to do. So, because my mind will change, and because I'm constantly taking in information, so I could feel like this way, and then feel a different way. Not saying that I but I just feel a different way. I stick with whatever it is, that I'm feeling. But information moves so fast throughout people, and people will love you one day and hate you the next day. So I hate you one day and love you the next day. They're a fan and then they're not a fan. You know what I mean? They're a follower and then they're not a follower. So most people don't know what to follow. They just follow whatever they think is entertainment. You know what I mean? Like, but the most important thing, for us as people right now is politics. Well, for me, politics is very important, because a lot of the laws and a lot of the statutes and codes and that they make, and the titles that they make, you know what I'm saying? That's why our people losing. because they don't know that information. They don't, you know, like people don't know nothing about. They don't read them case laws. Our people don't read them case laws like that. They don't read about those titles and what United States codes, section this, section that. You know, the information that govern the people. You know, hopefully these people don't even have a copy of the Constitution. You know, most of these people don't even understand government. They don't understand municipalities. They don't understand governments. They don't understand. So it's just like, you know, I'm just putting my pride aside to be able to try to help those people with the type of information that I put on a channel that may not know, you know, what fraud is, or what swindles are, or what, you know, what titles this, what titles that, you know, case laws, or, you know, certain case laws that pertain people freedoms, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, it's like, it's right there telling you, you know what I mean? Like, that these cases been, you know, decided already, you know what I mean? And it's like, they do the same thing to people and be like, oh, this is legal for me to do this, and this case law tell you that, you know what I mean, you can't do this, you know what I mean? And that stuff happening all across the world. All those people who are in jail, and all those people ain't guilty. All those people ain't innocent. You know, but none of those people in that have the law information to free themselves. You know, because they don't understand the Constitution. They don't understand Declaration of Independence. They don't understand none of that. Like, that's like, first, us as people, we could never be citizens of the United States of America company, which is a corporation, Inc. Right? We can't be citizens of that. Like, you know, we nationals. We born in America. Stripped of our nationality and our divine creed. Our nationalities was returned. Our divine creed was returned. At least we was told about the information. It was up to those people to go and do their research more on that information. Some of them may, some of them may not. So, but nationality is not a subject that people don't know about. Some people take it seriously, some people don't. Some states take it seriously, some states don't. Depending on the pushback of the person and their level of understanding of nationality. Because having something they don't understand it, and that's why they can't. That's why states, in certain states, they don't take them seriously. So, but it is a real thing. Those people are nationals. Those people are the highest in the land, and everybody else is a public servant to serve those nationals. I'm a national. Moorish American national. I'm a Moor. Just like Khalid Mohammed, a Moorish American, a Moor. I tell the president I'm a Moor. He know who he is. He know who we the children are. When you look me in my face and you look at my color, and you look at my complexion, if you want to call it color, or whatever you want to call it, we are the olive people. We are the children from the Moorish Americans that was overthrown by the Europeans to enslave us throughout America, throughout the Mexico. They know the story and who we are as the children. The government know this, the CIA know this, the FBI know this. These people know who we are as a people. I'm talking about bloodline. I'm talking about lineage. I'm talking about parentage. You know what a parentage is? You know what a lineage is? You know what a bloodline is? We talking about king shit. Alright? Okay, we got Queen Elizabeth, we got, you know, their family, and we talking about our family. Our original blood family was the fucking Moors. Go look up the Moorish Americans. Go look up the Moors. Go see how long they ruled. Queen Elizabeth and all those different family blood lineages. They didn't have, you know, you only had two rulerships, the Christian family and the Islamic family. Then you had before they came in with the isms and schisms and all that type of stuff that we focused on. We focused on astrology, you know, the 12 signs of the zodiac, right? Which we study the planets and we study the alignment and we study the harmony. We study everything that's in tune. They want me to turn up, I'll turn up. You know, at the same time, we are the children. We are the children of great kings and conquerors that conquered and educated the civilization all across the world. My skin color is the same as my forefathers. That's why I'm this color. That's why I'm this shade of hue. Melanin. You understand me? My forefathers are the same exact as me. No matter how many generations. This ain't got nothing to do with Africa. This ain't got nothing to do with none of that, because none of that was even created back then. All of that will be modern to ancient information. So we ain't even talking about Africa. Africa wasn't even, you know, we talking about the bloodline of people. The bloodline of the people of that Moorish bloodline. You know, mixed breeds of people. You know, and they get deeper than that, because it's really super complex. It's really deep. But pride, putting your pride aside and saying what it is, and I'm putting my pride aside and I'm saying what it is. And you know, I'm a Moorish American. I'm not black, I'm not colored, I'm not Negro, I'm not African American. I'm a Moorish American national, born in America. And you know, we have a nationality, we have a divine creed, we know what's going on. You know, we want other countries to know that we know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So, and this is to all the leaders to the leaders ahead of every state. You understand what I'm saying? And across the world, all the way to the UN. We know what's going on, all the way to Elizabeth, all the way across them waters. We know what's going on. We know our forefathers are the Moorish Americans who conquered everything and controlled everything for hundreds of years. And we know that y'all history is not a real history. We know that too. And we know that we the children of the wreckage of all the damage and all the killing of humanity and genocide across the world that has taken place underneath your watch, on your time. And you are our little brothers and sisters. And y'all are part of our DNA too. You feel me? At the same time, y'all was the ones that was created in these ancient laboratories, they call them. Now you got these modern, modern day laboratories, but I'm talking about them laboratories over there in the Yucatan. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about Jacob's children. So you read the story about Jacob, you know the history about Jacob? Okay, go read the story about Jacob, and then, you know, we gonna end the race war right there. All right, for any European on the planet any Dutch, any French, any Scottish, any British, any person on the planet. Go read Yaakov, and you come back and then you make your comments. Do that. Do that. Read about Yaakov. Who is Yaakov in the Bible? Who was Yaakov in the Biblical Heliotext? Who was Yaakov? Somebody tell me who Yaakov was. Comment and tell me who Yaakov was. And if y'all don't know, I'll give y'all some more information on it, and then y'all tell me who Yaakov was. And then now you know where your little brothers and your little sisters who run in this world come from. So we got to know where every bloodline comes from on the planet. We got to know every bloodline on the planet where you come from. If you're a civilization of people, you have a bloodline. You come from somewhere. You got a parentage. You got a lineage. You got a heritage. Right? You got an origin. Go look up these words I'm telling you. The words I'm telling you out of my mouth, go look them up. Get a dictionary, an unabridged dictionary, and look it up. Don't let nobody tell you nothing. Go look it up. You feel me? We got a bloodline. I ain't talking about black. I ain't talking about civil rights. I ain't talking about none of that. None of that never did anything. You feel me? That ain't nothing but spun off into a contractual slavery. Okay? So we ain't talking about no civil rights. We talking about bloodlines and lineages. We talking about forefathers and foremothers. Right? Don't think just because the government or the president sitting in the White House, right, that we don't know he's running our ancestors' estate, doing war and murder in our ancestors' estates' name, connected to the Republican form of government in name only. It was dissolved, right? So, and every president that ever promised us anything, ain't nothing ever happened, right? Our people still dying. Our people still losing. Our people still don't have no properties. Our people still are hungry. They still can't feed their family. They still can't clothe themselves. They still can't pay their bills. They still all underneath the watch of these people creating a history for themselves to take over our forefathers' legacy. And a lot of the lawyers know this. That's why they talk about the lawyers in the Bible. Oh yeah, they talk about the lawyers in the Bible. The lawyers in the Bible too. They got y'all in the Bible too. Jesus didn't like y'all. Jesus don't like the lawyers. You see what I'm saying? Jesus didn't like lawyers because these are the people that rob the criminals. You understand me? These are the people that rob the good people. These are the people that rob the innocent. These are the people that take everything and all the resources back from whoever. They see, when I say they rob the criminals, they put the criminals in jail and they take all their money and things like that when they're trying to get out the hood to get something better because they think that that's the only way. So it's a domino effect. So the lawyers rob the criminals. The lawyers rob the people. The lawyers rob the innocent, the people who don't know nothing, the people who don't study law. You feel me? And that's why I say, excuse me. That's why I say it's about time for the information to really shift. But like I said, I'm gonna go back and do some more research on some other things that I want to present. But you know, we gonna say pride is a major thing. We're going to say, like I said in my last one, frequency is a major thing. You need to be looking up the definitions of that. And, you know, put your pride aside, sit back, you know, and let God, let the Creator do His work through you in some form or fashion. I believe that that's my journey, you know what I mean? The Creator going to work for me. and work through me, and whatever I feel like that comes from my heart comes from my heart. But I'm a Moorish American. I'm a child from the Moorish American. Um, I'm the child from my ancestors. That's what Noble Jew Ali, taught us. Um, I love my people. I hope my people love me back. But I'm gonna say what I gotta say, and I'm gonna keep it moving. Subscribe to the channel. Hit them likes. Make them comments. You tell me, quote unquote, my Moorish Americans, my colored folks, my branded folks. Who are you? Track down your bloodline and tell me what your bloodline is. Tell me what your lineage is. Tell me what your nationality is. Tell me what your divine creed is. Make the comments. I want to know, because all these people on the earth need to have nationalities, and all of them need divine creeds and what they represent and who they are by lineage, by bloodline, and where they fit in at. So you come in and you tell me I'm a Moorish American national, born in America, Asiatic race. And I'm a child of my forefathers and my foremothers, who was here ruling, and it was the Moors and all the way back to the land of Moab and the Moabites. All that's my blood lineage. The Puerto Ricans, the part of our blood lineage as well too. And I'm gonna stop right there. Because I want to leave that for another video about really like bloodlines of people. You know what I mean? But like I said, I'm Moorish American, and I'm born here in America, which is a Mexican, El Maroc. My religion is more of the Mohammedan religion, and I read all books. I'm not closed to not reading and studying. So, but my religion is, that Mohammedan religion, and I do still read all books, the Quran with the K and the Quran with the Q, because I'm information driven. So if you want, like I said, just chime in with me. I love you. I wish the best for everybody. I wish the best for the world. I wish the best. I watch a lot of stuff going on over there with Russia. That's a very serious situation. That type of shit can destroy the world. And it's a global thing. This is global. This is you're dealing with global. That's not like a hurricane. That's decision. That's like sending a hurricane at a tornado at a pinpoint at any time you want. You can press a button and a tornado is there. Which they're doing that now, in other words. But you can press a button and an earthquake happen. You can press a button and a rainstorm, firestorm, or a hailstorm come down. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what nuclear weapons are like when I look at it. And destroy people, destroy civilizations. For propaganda, for another man's greed. And another thing is, I wanted to say before I end it. I didn't want to go this long on the channel. And on this one, because it was just about the word pride, and but to Russia, I wanted to say Russia is one of the power structures in the Bible. A lot of prophecies that's in the Bible. The Biblo Helotech, aka text, the book of genetics, Russia is a power structure in the Bible. And I'll go more into who Russia actually are. Um, you know, taking it back to the ancient on identifying their position. Um, but Putin is one man. He's one man only. Just like Joe Biden is one man, and he has a team. Putin is one man, and he has a team for the interests of his country. Just as well as we got the U.S. for the interests of our country here in America. The U.S. is only in place running our country is because our people fell and was conquered, and they look like us, right? So we supposed to be the real people in charge in the seats of the political decisions as nationals. That's why we got to learn jurisprudence. That's why we got to learn civics. That's why we got to learn how to fashion and run government. Just like they running the government now. We can get them out of the way and run our own government. Like our ancestors did before they lost their names and their nationalities. You can go all the way back to Grenada when the Moors fell, and track the history is there. The world know who we are as a people. It's just us in America don't know who. A lot of people in America not, getting the information for some reason, or they either getting the information or seeing it, and they're not working towards changing themselves. You just got some people that's not gonna change, and we get that. But to Putin is one man. I believe that the leaders around Putin, the other leaders around Putin, once they got to deal with that situation. Because nobody can say somebody's right or wrong. He may feel that he doing God's work. Just like Biden may feel he doing God's work. But when you look at who does it hurts. It hurts the people. Although to Putin, a lot of people, I know I just want you to, I want him to sit down and just think of all the people that then lost their lives. All the innocent people, Putin, that then lost their lives in this thing. I don't think that's truly his spirit, but it's just a sad situation. And I never thought that my channel would be growing into an element of being able to talk and bridge the gaps. I haven't been to school for politics. I don't got a degree in politics. But I got a degree in the Creator. So that gives me a voice to care about people. I'm not worried about politics. I'm worried about people. So I try my best to, just trying to benefit people, energy. You know, let the prophecies fall where they fall. You reap what you shall sow. And that's just, that's just a level with the creator and these guys, making these decisions. Nuclear weapons are bad for the world. They should never be used. They should never be. They should not have never been created. So I really feel like if these people really taught humanity in a different way, and gave them the key to success, it wouldn't be war, it wouldn't be murder, it wouldn't be the stuff that's going on in the world. And then you got to think, some people are just pure evil. Some people are just pure demonic entities. And you can't really explain that. You can't really explain that if you don't understand that. Some people just possessed. That's the only thing that I can tell you. When somebody drop bombs on people or cause that much of destruction and can sleep at night, either not have a conscience to the people that they hurt, like that person is pure demonic. So to me, I don't know what too much really started the situation with Ukraine and Russia. And I'll go back and look more back at it. I'll go back in and look at it. And I know, mainly, the major things like land resources, control, people trying to control, people trying to order you, that's mainly what most of the wars have started over, control and, people trying to force you and coerce you into some type of action, politically.